来个坦白局。
Let's have an honesty session. How much did you actually spend this Double 11? I'll go first. Not a single cent. It's not that I didn't want to buy anything, it's just that after looking around, I realized the so-called discounts weren't even cheaper than the usual live stream prices. There are just too many shopping festivals nowadays. It's exhausting. What about you? Share your bill in the comments. Many young people today have never experienced the first year of Double 11. Back then, things were truly half price, no tricks, no gimmicks. You just placed the order and it was literally 50% off. The whole internet was celebrating. Cosmetics, furniture, clothing, daily necessities, everyone was frantically placing orders at midnight. Uniqlo was completely sold out by 2 a.m. We were really getting the best deals. There were even flash sales. People stayed in front of their computers at midnight trying to grab a 1 yuan iPhone, and you could actually get one. Sites like VIP.com and Meili Show offered 199 minus 100 deals with free returns and exchanges. Nothing like now, barely any real discounts, just endless confusing tricks. It's so exhausting. What used to be happy, carefree shopping has turned into endless calculating, and then you realize nothing is actually cheaper. Double 11 refers to November 11th each year. It was initially a self-created Singles Day for young people in China because the 4 ones in the date symbolize being single. Later, driven by e-commerce platforms such as Alibaba, it gradually evolved into a major shopping festival. Just like Black Friday in the West, major e-commerce sites and brands launch large-scale discounts on this day to spur consumer spending. However, as China's economy continues to decline, people have lost confidence in the future and have cut back on spending. As a result, the Double 11 shopping festival has become much quieter. This year, although merchants deliberately extended the promotion period to maintain consumer enthusiasm, the results were far from ideal. It reflects both the economic downturn in China and the shift in people's mindset. Some analysts say this year is the bleakest Double 11 in history, with 4 significant unusual phenomena emerging in China. Double 11 once attracted consumers with the lowest prices, prompting people to place orders like crazy, but in recent years the public has increasingly questioned whether the prices are truly the lowest. I honestly feel like Double 11 should stop sending me notifications. I think every platform is just pretending they can play the game, but they really can't. Half a month ago, I added a study desk for my son to my cart, and yesterday I added a bottle of cleansing oil. Everything I planned to buy recently was already in my cart. I even took screenshots of the prices. The study desk used to be 564 yuan. Today, on Double 11, it became 599 yuan. The cleansing oil was 70 yuan yesterday, and today it's 79. Can you even call this a sale? If you can't play the game, then stop pushing ads at me. The blogger says that every year Double 11 is advertised as the lowest price, but that's not true. The same tricks are repeated again and again. It's exhausting, isn't it? Isn't this treating consumers like fools? Girls, have you noticed? This year's Double 11 passed by so quietly. I was scrolling on my phone just now and suddenly realized, wasn't yesterday Double 11? Even Taobao barely promoted it, and no one mentioned those sales numbers that used to flood the screen every year, right? I feel like some things were even more expensive this year, so people are really waking up now. It's not that we don't need to buy things, we're just tired of all these tricks. Money is tight, so we only pick what we genuinely need, and that actually feels more grounded. So girls, what did you buy this Double 11? Analysts believe that this year's quiet Double 11 is no coincidence. It's the inevitable result of a deteriorating economic environment and frequent policy shifts. Under pressure from high unemployment, deflation risks, and the real estate crisis, the middle class and young people have chosen to tighten their wallets, no longer willing to spend heavily in live stream shopping rooms. This shift reflects more than just a change in consumer behavior, it mirrors the broader social mindset. From frenzy to calm, from chasing trends to cautious observation. What did you all buy for this year's Double 11? I didn't spend a single cent. I remember that Double 11 originally started as Singles Day. It had nothing to do with those of us who are married. Later, it became a shopping festival and somehow forced itself into everyone's lives. Don't fall for sayings like your money hasn't left you, it has just taken a different form to stay by your side. That's a consumption trap. Obviously, money is only yours when it stays in your pocket in RMB. After going through the pandemic, we all understand how important cash is. Now, I even wait until all my tissues are used up before buying more. I don't stockpile anymore. It's essential to manage your money wisely. Stay away from so-called money-saving traps that actually lock you in.
双十一活动也过了，
The Double 11 event is over, and I guess that's it for this year, right? There are barely any trucks on the loading ground, and only a few packages on the conveyor belt. I don't have many orders, and neither does anyone else. Even though that makes me feel a bit better, what am I going to do about my travel expenses to go home this year?
你们发现了没？今年双十一特别安静。
Have you noticed? This year's Double 11 is unusually quiet. In the past, everyone would show off their orders at this time. Now, people don't even bother sharing what's in their cart. What's even more puzzling is that before, when the real economy wasn't doing well, everyone blamed e-commerce for taking business away. But now that e-commerce sales are also weak, why hasn't the real economy recovered either? Is it because money is harder to earn, or people don't dare spend recklessly? Or is it that neither online nor offline shopping is meeting our needs? So how much did you spend on Double 11 this year?
我得感慨一下。
I can't help but sigh. Times really have changed. Do you still remember how Double 11 used to be? It was absolutely a nationwide celebration. Now it's so quiet that I didn't even think about buying anything. What caused such a vast contrast? Is it because our wallets have flattened and we can't afford to spend? Or because we've already seen through all the tricks and don't want to play along anymore? I'm suddenly curious how many people even remembered to place an order this Double 11. Come to the comments and chat. Let's reminisce about the excitement we once had.
我真的今年才对消费降级。
It's really only this year that I truly felt what it means to cut back on consumption. In past years, my Double 11 packages would pile up like a mountain, but this year I barely bought anything. I'm no longer held hostage by that line. If you miss it today, you'll have to wait another year. I used to feel like I'd lose out if I didn't buy something, but in the end, my closet turned into a mountain of clothes. Yet every time I went out, I couldn't find anything to wear. I used to feel that opening packages every day could always bring me happiness, but that happiness was only temporary. In fact, seeing all those unused things later just made me even more upset. The blogger says her current spending philosophy can be summed up in 3 words: don't follow unthinkingly. Buy what you truly need without hesitation. No matter how cheap something is, if you don't need it, don't buy it. In the past, she thought buying more meant you were the winner, but now she realizes the real winner is the person who controls their own wallet.
今年的双十一为什么不火？
Why isn't Double 11 popular anymore this year? Today is the last day of Double 11. Did you buy anything? Do you still remember what Double 11 was like 5 years ago? Basically, for an entire month before Double 11, no one would buy anything. We would add everything we wanted to the shopping cart and wait until 8 p.m. on Double 11 to pay. Sometimes if you clicked too slowly, the item would be gone by the time you clicked. But now, many people are still waiting to make purchases on Double 11. I think there are 3 main reasons why Double 11 isn't hot anymore. The blogger says the first reason is that merchants have raised prices. For example, he bought a down jacket in October for 280 to 290 yuan. But now the online price is over 400 yuan, and even after using discount coupons, it's still just over 300. Today's platforms and merchants really treat consumers like fools. The second reason is that people have become more rational with their spending. In other words, ordinary people simply don't have much money in their wallets. The third reason is that the consumption scene has changed. In the past, people went to shopping malls. When the malls had promotions, they were packed with people. Later, everyone shifted to buying Taobao. Now, people shop through short videos and live streams, buying anytime, anywhere. As a result, the significance of Double 11 has diminished. Although the promotional period for the festival has been extended, a live stream manager revealed that while reported sales figures may have slightly increased, actual profits have sharply declined. For this reason, they refuse to release this year's sales data and bluntly state that the numbers circulating online are all fake. This highlights the vast gap between the apparent prosperity of Double 11 and its actual quietness.
混了20多年。
Lao Tsai has been in the business for over 20 years. He's seen trends take off and bubbles burst, but the quietness of this year's Double 11 still surprised him a little. 37 major platforms participated in the event, and the promotion period lasted more than a month. And the result? The liveliness was just for show, the chill was real. Here are the hardcore dates. Total online sales for Double 11 in 2025 reached 1,695 billion yuan, up 14.2% year-on-year. But keep in mind that the statistical period was a whole week longer than last year's. Remove that padding and the actual growth rate isn't even as high as 13.7% in 2022. The blogger Laocai says that looking at the core platforms, JD.com claims its transaction volume hit a record high, with order numbers up 60%. But the event started on October 9th, an entire month early, which diluted the excitement. There's no longer that midnight rush and sense of ceremony like in the old days. Tmall doesn't disclose its exact sales figures, and Douyin and Pinduoduo only dare to show partial data. If the numbers were awe-inspiring, would they hide them? What's even more painful is the reality for merchants. In-platform promotion fees rose 30% year-on-year. The refund rate increased by 10%. On the surface, sales seem up, but profits remain stagnant. Some merchants are even losing money to make a show. Back in 2021, Tmall's single-platform sales reached 540.3 billion yuan, while JD.com's reached 341.1 billion yuan. Back then, there was no need to extend the promotion period or spend heavily on advertising. Consumers would stay up until midnight to grab deals, and merchants would effortlessly fulfill orders. People say that Double 11 now feels like it ends before it even begins. Why is that? Laocai believes it's because the scarcity of low prices is gone. With JD.com's hundreds of billions in subsidies and Pinduoduo's Double 11 every day becoming the norm, consumers no longer need to wait for Double 11 to get a bargain. So who's willing to play along with the platforms anymore? When do you think we actually stopped caring about Double 11? Do you remember the old days? Setting the alarm for midnight, charging your phone to 100%, all for those few hours of frenzy. Even if the page crashed, we wouldn't give up. Refresh, refresh, refresh. Like what we were grabbing wasn't just products, but a kind of victory. Back then, receiving a dozen or so packages piled up at the office door felt like a small mountain. Colleagues walking by would smile and ask, "Stayed up late again last night, huh?" The blogger says that now receiving a package hardly brings any surprise. There's always another discount tomorrow, another live stream next week. Every day feels like a shopping festival. Have we changed, or is Double 11 changed? After calculating prices, we realize they aren't even cheaper than usual. The rules are so complicated that you need a spreadsheet to figure them out. We suddenly understand that the most cost-effective way to shop is not to buy at all. Data shows that Double 11's trending searches are 60% lower than last year. It's not that we've stopped loving shopping, but when every ordinary day has become a shopping festival, what reason do we have to go crazy over it? The annual Double 11 shopping festival has come to an end, and the top live streaming hosts who once drove massive traffic have collectively gone flat. In August this year, Shinba announced his withdrawal from live streaming due to illness, handing over his account with over 100 million followers to his wife, Churu Shui. Li Jiaqi openly said in a live stream that he was pushed to the point of wanting to retire, emphasizing, "I'm human too, not a god." Dong Yuhui publicly stated that he would no longer chase commercial frenzy. This year, some consumers reported that the pre-sale prices in Li Jiaqi's live streams were higher than spot prices, triggering a large wave of refund requests. Although Li Jiaqi responded that these rumors were untrue, public skepticism remains difficult to quell. The collapse of trust directly undermines consumers' willingness to participate. Soon, Double 11 might actually be eliminated by the users themselves. Some merchants reported zero sales on Double 11 this year. Who would have thought that this year's Double 11 would pass by so quietly? Even stranger, there was no Double 11 gala this year, no battle reports, and items wouldn't sell. Major platforms didn't even occupy a single trending spot, and many people didn't even notice that November 11th had come and gone. According to statistics, since 2023, Tmall's Double 11 transaction volume has been less than half of what it was in 2022. In the past 2 years have seen a continuous decline. In the past, people stayed up all night buying until their hands were sore, and shopping carts were always full. Now, for Double 11, it's not just about buying. Most people don't even feel like opening the app. Why has Double 11, once loved to the point of obsession, become so quiet in the past 2 years? The blogger says it's because users have seen through it. One user said they had their eye on a pair of shoes on a particular shopping platform and planned to wait until Double 11 to buy them. But on the day itself, the price was actually higher than usual. Others say that Double 11 has long lost its meaning, because with platforms like Pinduoduo, every day can feel like Double 11. I think it's better just to let Double 11 fade away. This whole act of raising prices first and then discounting with barely any real savings can't be even called performance art anymore. What Double 11 really is now is marketing fraud. Sellers know to raise prices before Double 11 temporarily. Their staff, following instructions from above, adjust prices and various platform coupons in the back end. They call them various coupons, but they hardly save anything, right? Everyone on all sides has an unspoken understanding. If you buy, you know in your heart that the discounts are minimal, just scraps. If you don't buy, you save 100% right away, right? Stop doing Double 11 in the future. It's all tricks. Jiangqi Chao, chairman of Sangja Culture, said in a video that this year's Double 11 is the most dismal in history, with almost all e-commerce platforms lacking traffic. He pointed out that China is currently experiencing 4 significant unusual phenomena. First, the number of people running street stalls is increasing. This reflects the persistently high unemployment rate among young people who are unwilling to work as couriers or do manual labor. At the same time, many middle-aged and older workers face frequent layoffs and to make ends meet have to rely on street vending to supplement their income. Second, goods are generally dropping in price. Milk tea is cheaper, clothing is more affordable, and even cars and houses are becoming more affordable. But the most concerning thing is that even as prices keep falling, consumers remain unwilling to spend. This indicates that people's expectations for the future are not optimistic, and they tend to save their money instead. Third, the direction of population movement has reversed. In the past, most university graduates flocked to first and second-tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. Now, many are returning to their hometowns. The reason is that although big cities offer high salaries, living costs are even higher, making it nearly impossible to save money in a year, let alone buy a car or a house. In contrast, smaller towns have lower living costs, cheaper housing, easier opportunities for dating and marriage, and the chance to build networks and resources that can support future entrepreneurship. Fourth, shopping malls and tourist attractions are crowded, yet few people actually spend money. Everyone is holding onto their wallets tightly. On the surface, many appear glamorous and well-off, but in reality, they are burdened with heavy debt. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.